What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video. And when Amazon Prime was announcing its Fallout TV series, all signs pointed to it potentially being awful. Okay, you had the director come out and say that he was going to be focusing heavy on social commentary, social issues, modern day social issues, and how this reflects in the world, and how Fallout was a good example of showing good social commentary within it. I still don't believe the social commentary they were going to focus in on was what the show actually needs, because for the most part, I don't really think there's very much social commentary within Fallout itself, besides maybe arguing war is bad. That's about it. And I know a bunch of people like to say, well, it's against capitalism. Very funny coming from a game all about how the Cold War extending on for years on end, and ultimately, basically, the economies attacked. I mean, come on. And also, it's very awkward to be against capitalism when, I mean, even in the Fallout games, there's a capitalist system. So again, it's very awkward to have any of those commentary actually within Fallout itself. I just got to be honest there, guys. But you also had the director come out and say how it was a fool's errand to try to appease actual fans of the game, which you should never, ever actually say, because let's be real fair here. Fans are the people that made this property actually profitable, actually enticing for Amazon to actually want to make this, and enticing for all parties to say, hey, you know what, maybe we should do something with this. Yeah, never, ever, ever go against the fans, the rule number one. Well, shortly before the show was actually set to drop as a weekly show, that exact week, on that Monday, we ended up getting announced that they were going to be dropping it all last Wednesday on the 10th. And a batch drop. Now, for those of you who don't realize what that is, a batch drop is when they just throw it all out, similar to how Netflix does. So you can binge it all at once, which for a Netflix that works 0.1% of the time. They throw out a bunch of stuff on Netflix all the time that actually doesn't do very well. For a company like Amazon Prime to do something like this on one of their flagship shows that they were promoting and pushing like crazy, it spells disaster. And for example of like reasons why it was gonna spell disaster, you take a look over at Marvel's Echo. Marvel's Echo ended up being a batch drop. Who's talking about that now? And how good was that show that came out? That was a joke of a show. It was a thing that they just threw out at once because they knew that it was gonna be garbage. They knew it was gonna be bad, and they just wanted to get rid of it. Or what Max is about to be doing with Velma season 2. Again, just batch dropping it because they know it's a bad show and it's not going to make them any real money, and it's just going to just get it out the way, get it away from us, get rid of it for the most part. That's the reason these companies end up doing batch drops for shows like this, you know, Velma, Echo. When on the flip side, you have them putting out like Rings of Power on a weekly basis. You have them putting out Wheel of Prime on a weekly basis. And you have them putting out Invincible even on a weekly basis. And I at least showed you 2 garbage tier shows that they put out on a weekly basis, and 1 really good show that they put out on a weekly basis. So when you get the announcement the week that's supposed to be coming out, that's going to be a batch drop, again, all signs pointed to it being a awful show that Amazon was just trying to get rid of. Amazon was just trying to get rid of it at that point because it knew they had a stinker on their hands. But when it comes out that, for the most part, everybody's relatively excited about it, everybody's having a good time, everybody's enjoying it, I'm actually getting really interested in sitting down and watching it, getting the time to actually make effort to do this. I have to eat some crow. And on top of that, it's really refreshing when you see an actress come out here and say things like this in regards to like preparation for the show.
The two of you, you were the bigger gamer. You were more into the game than him. Jonah himself, he played a lot of it.
Yeah,
was that a complete waste of time, or did that feel like you were kind of prepping?
Real quick, I do find it very interesting how the interviewer asked, was that a complete waste of time? Because he doesn't really see how important it is to play these things. That this is what a lot of these people don't realize. That, you know, the interviewer, the people in the access media, they don't think you need to actually be playing these games to do the actual research to appease the fans. They just want you to throw something out there so then they can, you know, bob on your knob about it. But no, I like her response here. The moment he says, was it a complete waste of time? No, because she knew it was important.
For the
It
show
wasn't
the
a
right
waste
way.
of time at all. I wanted to get the absolute most out of this experience, and I think you have to deeply respect the source material, at least for me. And I love to throw myself into all of my research, but this was so fun. There's so much lore and so much passion behind the games and so many details, and it made it even more exciting when I put the Vault suit on or the Pip-Boy for the first time. Like, that moment was not lost on me, what a big deal that was. So no, it wasn't a waste of time.
Well, also, I think...
And you know, you hear an actress, and I know I had to go through Asmongold to get this clip because I couldn't find this clip anywhere else. You get an actress coming out here saying stuff like that. That's appealing to fans. That's an appealing thing, is saying that you actually went out of your way to do the work to try to pay the correct amount of respect, the correct amount of homage to the actual fans, the actual IP, to everything about this, because you knew how important this is to people. You knew how much money, how much time, how much effort people have poured into these properties because they love it. And when you hear somebody say, you know, like the director, it's a fool's errand to try to appease the fans, and you get an actress coming out here saying, no, it's very important that we did all this work, that is endearing to fans like me. That is endearing to people. That is something that says, hey, even if I don't like the show, her putting in this modicum of work makes me at least appreciate her, makes me at least respect her, because she respects us, she respects the source material, and she respects everything about what is Fallout. And on the exact flip side, when you get shows like this, you also get shows like The Last of Us, where you have the actors coming out basically saying, yeah, we were told not to play the game, so we never played the games, and we never did anything with the games. And I honestly think that reflects on how they portrayed each character within the actual show, where when it came to The Last of Us, I didn't like The Last of Us show at all. I didn't like any of the characters in The Last of Us show. I thought it was all phoned in, didn't work well, didn't flow well. I have tons of issues with The Last of Us show, and it's reflected because they didn't actually play the game at all. They didn't do anything with the game. And then also you had the Halo series showrunner actually come out and say that they didn't even look at the games. They didn't even want to touch the games. They didn't even care about anything about the games. They just wanted the IP to push their own agenda, their own ideology. They didn't care at all. So when you constantly get these things, like, I get it. People like The Last of Us. I hate it. I think it's a pile of garbage. Then you get Halo. People don't even respect the fans. People don't even respect the IP. You're seeing these things play out over and over again. And when it comes to Fallout, you're seeing all the signs again. You're seeing all the exact signs of, it's going to be another stinker. It's going to be another stinker. It's going to be another stinker. You have Amazon Prime behind it. You have all this stuff pushing it. The guy that made Westworld, for crying out loud, is pushing it. Nothing looks like it's going to be good. And then people are happy. And you get to your actress coming out here saying things like this. That is good. This is how you build fandom. This is how you build interest and respect in your IP. And this is how you actually convince people to come watch your show and actually work with your show. This is why. This is seriously why, when they batch dropped it, I was convinced it's going to be garbage. Because if this stuff was coming out right now, say episode 1 and 2 came out last week, people were excited. We end up seeing this. We end up seeing more people coming out and doing this, promoting it more, showing how interested they are in the show, showing how hard they actually work to try to respect the fans week over week. This show would guarantee season 2 right now. Guaranteed season 2 right now. Thing is, because they batch dropped it, I don't think it gets a season 2. I don't. Because the problem with this batch drop, or the problem with everything right now surrounding Fallout, is Amazon Prime isn't Netflix. Amazon Prime is more akin to, let's say, HBO Max, Disney Plus, even though Disney Plus is a garbage tier platform, but follow me here. These are platforms that do the weekly model. The weekly model assists these shows and makes shows like House of the Dragon, for example, via Max, more popular. When it came to episode 1 of House of the Dragon, I was very negative on it. By the time I made it to episode 3 of House of the Dragon, I was like, I'm sold. Let's keep going. And that the build up into anticipation, to the point that you get, I cannot remember the names off the top of my head, but the king at the time, before he passes away in his sleep, feebly walking up to his throne, crown falling off his head, and you get Daemon Targaryen coming along, picking up the crown and hanging to it. And by the way, that was all ad-lib. That was not in the script, but it just flowed and worked really well. You get a moment like that after weeks of buildup and the anticipation, that hits hard. Really, really hard, where I'm pretty sure Fallout has maybe similar aspects to it, but even the harder moments in Fallout would hit harder later on during a weekly model. While Amazon batch drops this, you darn know well, Rings of Power Season 2, that's going to be weekly model. Wheel of Prime Season 3, that's going to be weekly model. They're going to try to milk that for all it's worth. Well, they're just throwing Fallout, which is prime to just, come on, guys, do good with this. People are excited. People are interested. People are enjoying what they're seeing. Actually do your weekly model here. Just throw it away. That's sad to see. That truly is sad to see. And I'm so happy and thankful that we have something good to watch. And people are excited to keep watching it. People are excited to keep going down this path. Season 2, if it comes out, Season 2 could be a woke mess. But guess what? We got to see good Season 1. Or people have seen it at least have had a good time with Season 1. I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching it. I might think that it's mid at best. I'll be honest. I might think it's mid at best, but I'll take a mid-tier show right now over all the garbage tier nonsense that constantly is being thrown our way. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.